Are Celestial Dragon Crossbows on point in patch 8.0? You are a Celestial General, staring at a mass of marauders, trolls, and horrors both pink and blue marching against your bastion walls. The air is thick with magic and conflict. Your hand rises, and the air is thick with something else. The bolts from the Celestial Dragon Crossbows. There is no hide, they will not penetrate, no armor, they will not pierce. This is your story. Recruit for 1050 gold and 263 upkeep. Let's pause right there. That means the missile unit is not even a single gold coin more expensive than the melee version that's one building tier lower. That's important. Unlike the melee version, this is an 80 entity missile unit with 6,720 health across it for 84 hit points per entity. That's less entities, health, and per entity health than the Dragon Guard, so we are losing something to get this at an identical price point. The unit comes with armor 95 and shields that block 35% small arms missile far from the front, as in the same protection the Guard version has. This is highly unusual for a human missile unit, usually takes dwarf something or other for that. Leadership 62 is a good deal lower than the melee version. Speed 30 and charge speed 38 are a bit faster despite the same armor and shields. Melee attack begins at 26, which doesn't seem like much, but is already most of the way to the Empire Swordsman mediocrity line of 32 on a missile unit. Let's call this a very decent melee combatant. Attack interval 4.3 seconds is like Swordsman. No splash damage. Melee defense begins at 32, right at the mediocrity line, and is outright heroic for a missile unit. Weapon strength 33 is split base 24 and armor piercing 9, which may not look like much, but against infantry, Dragon Guard are only 36, yes with an AP tilted ratio, but still. Charge bonus is 8 and mass is 100. That's not their strength. Thus, the real strength is ranged. Emission 22 is a painfully standard amount. Range 160 is very ordinary for crossbows. Each actual impact is base 5 and armor piercing 12 per. That is suspiciously low, great for AP, but where's our base damage? It's not like these are Dark Elves firing 2, no actually, they do fire 2 bolts per volley. So the damage potential is base 10, AP 22 every time the entity fires, with 80 entities in a fresh unit. Reload time of 13 seconds, total accuracy 20, calibration distance 120 meters for extra spread past that point, and calibration area 5.1 meters for the default spread are kind of normal, so it's the extra projectiles and AP tilt that differentiates. There is no multi-penetration here. Besides Hide and Forest, it's orthodox Battle Harmony Yin for this unit, a floor of leadership plus 4, speed plus 4%, and reload skill plus 12, basically reload time reduction because of how they tweaked the balance. The max with Dragon Lord boosting rises to leadership plus 8, speed plus 8%, and reload skill plus 24, which means getting double shots out much faster. The Regiment of Renown, the Grace of Quai Yin, is recruited for 1300 gold and 325 upkeep, or slightly less than the Guard version. The first thing to note is that they lose the 35% block shields. That's interesting. Leadership 72 is 10 better from being rank 9, so regulars can reach that with time and victories. Melee attack 34 is 8 better from being rank 9, melee defense 41 is 9 better likewise, but our big differences are in the ranged area, which is fantastic, yes? Range rises to 180 meters. Each and every crossbow bolt is armor piercing 14 instead of 12. Remember, 2 fire per volley. Being rank 9 already gets reload time down to 10.66 or Hastings level. Total accuracy 63 at this rank is notable. Regular units max is 47 at rank 9. Calibration distance 140 is more generous. Calibration area is the same, but they added a max penetration beyond the initial target of 2. There's no increase in the penetration cap. How this works out in-game, no idea. I haven't studied it, you tell me. In the Grand Cathay Redline skills, a Lord building to max out Dragon Crossbows uses 3 pips of Sure Aim, which adds range plus 10% and missile strength plus 9%. To put it mildly, this is extra potent on the RoR. At rank 7 and up, including said RoR, Fast Hands gives missile strength plus 6%, reload time reduction 10% full time, and missile resistance 15% for extra resistance when under fire. This means they're a little better against arrows than Searing Doom compared to the melee version. In the Grand Cathay Tech tree, this will get interesting. Moon Reflecting gives the usual +4 leadership and missile strength +10% off the bat, and more damage is awesome. After strategic buffs, Fletching Mentors adds ammunition +15% and gives arrow piercing +3 to each bolt fired by the Dragon Crossbows, so it's AP 12 per up to AP 15 per, with 2 of them going out per volley per entity. Yin Defense slaps on +10 armor, +6 leadership, ammunition +15% for missile units generally, and then armor-piercing missile damage +4 for Celestial Dragon Crossbows. Wait, didn't we just have, and wasn't it +3? Oh, this stacks with Fletching Mentors! So that's base 5 AP 19 per bolt when they're double shot every volley. Before missile strength boosts them by a percentage. Yin Hex shaves 10% from upkeep cost, buffs recruit rank +2, and gives melee defense +4 for extra decent melee combatant-ing. But that can't be all, right? Inner speed's +20% speed is nice. Celestial Endurance Training, from the Yang side, mind you, grants armor +20 generally, and immunity to flanking for rank 7 and above Dragon Crossbows, and not for ones below rank 7. The melee attack buff is not applicable to the Crossbows version. That's still armor 125 just from what we have here as a neutral Cathay Tech Tree issue. So how do we deploy Celestial Dragon Crossbows to dominate? Generalizing General asks, that's a lot of gold. Isn't it better to spam only Jade Warrior crossbowmen? They're the same range. My answer to this and other questions applies directly to Miao Ying, Zhao Ming, and Yuan Bo factions, and indirectly to Bhashiva. She can still get them through allying with the others, and compatible redline skills and techs will apply regardless. The reason it's balanced this way is because you don't have the super convenience of Lore of Yang available to turn Dragon Guard into Dragon Shredders. There is no spell to plop down to directly add to the armor-piercing damage, but there is the Alchemist's Enhanced Metallurgic. Especially with this unit, the safest version is the piercing variant, adding a percentage boost to the AP damage and the base damage for your missiles. It is highly significant that the Alchemist can bring magical attack to the party to make this already powerful unit shred demons better. Other flavors have their place, but this is just plain amazing. So, if you came here to ask if they're worth the gold, when the gold itself is actually no higher than for the regular version, goodness yes, absolutely. Every tactic you developed to make Jade Warrior Crossbows better works seamlessly with Celestial Dragon Crossbows. That includes Gate Masters dramatically jacking up their range, though the Jade Standard, the skill, is an exception and boosts melee units. This is not. Satang brings boosts, but his extra damage buffing actually is more base tilted. However, that's almost irrelevant since the range, reload time, and so on gets that much better. You basically cannot go wrong. The pain point is that, aside from the RoR, it takes so long to get a city to tier 5. Yes, that's a problem. It takes time. The issue is not, is it worth having 1 or 2? It's, is it worth equipping armies with 4 of them as a core and adding complementary units to that core? Hopefully I've established that the answer is absolutely yes. The cost is simply not bad enough to deter you. It's one of the least fragile missile units you're going to see in the entire game. Now, that doesn't mean it lacks weaknesses, relative as they are. This is not a melee unit. It is not meant to YOLO Saurus Warriors. It needs a clean separation from the mosh pit to fire and fire and fire some more. This is a unit that is worth whatever tricks you're going to use to achieve that. It's so consistent, you want it firing at the worst of the worst on the enemy's side, if available, and simply pouring on damage generally to shatter what happens to be within range. Finally, don't forget the fundamentals. It takes Crane Gunners or a Sky Lantern or Sky Junk to inflict Shield Breaker, and that will greatly improve the efficiency of shredding Chosen and so forth. It's one of your few hopes of shredding Chosen to begin with, so you need the help. Shields are annoying, depress their market value accordingly. Take care and have fun making Blackguard wish they had shields before challenging the Celestial Dragons.